On my family's farm in Kansas.
Anytime a story starts off with "in my family's farm in Kansas," you know you're about to hear some fucked up shit.
I found out everything I knew about myself was a lie.
Steve Lichtai grew up in Emporia, Kansas, surrounded by a large family.
This is my family, my devoutly Catholic parents.
Only a God-fearing family would pull off some shit like this, not trying to diminish the family legacy. Like, what family legacy are you trying to uphold your Catholic family from Kansas?
Steve knew he was adopted, but always felt loved, especially by his siblings. But there was a secret that everyone kept from Steve, a secret orchestrated by his family since birth.
It was an open secret. Everybody knew about it, but nobody talked about it.
It wasn't until Steve was 18 years old when he finally learned the truth.
I wasn't some random child, even though I fully believed I was adopted by strangers. But Don and Mary Jane weren't strangers. They were really my grandparents. And Joni, who I believed was my oldest sister, was my mother.
You must be really selfish people to make a kid believe he's adopted by strangers and to make him believe his mom's actually his sister. Like, I wonder what that did to his psyche as a kid. And that puts him in a hard situation. I wonder how he explains that to his own kids. See, kids, your auntie, she's really your grandma. Well, yeah, I think she's your grandma. And then your great-grandparents, they made me think they were strange. It's a long story. You know, fuck it. They're all strangers. Fuck all of them.
I was just looking at those pictures with you and your older sister, who was actually your mom.
Okay, guy, why does that sound like that's high-key a sneak diss?
Did you ever have any idea over the years that something was different?
Well, you know, in hindsight, I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. But no, I didn't. You know, it just seemed very normal because the story was so locked in.
How was the story so locked in? How did everyone know and it never leaked to you?
Part of it was the time of this, which is the early 70s, mid 70s.
What a time to be alive, huh?
And also small town, tight-knit community. The people who knew, the community members who knew, who didn't say anything, were just trying to be good neighbors.
How did you ultimately confront Joni, your mother, and your grandparents?
So what I said was,
look, you, the plane you flew in on, them shoes, your socks with the bell on it, your ass accent, them cheap ass cigars, your yuck mouth teeth, your hairpiece, your chocolate, Guy Ritchie, Prince William, the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue. Now get the out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the out.
And then we didn't talk about it again for another 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was this ever a secret in the first place? Was it to protect Joni at the time? I mean, you'd think at some point they'd want to protect you.
She really asked that question like she doesn't know the answer. They're from Kansas.
Protect Joni, protect the family name, protect everyone, protect my... It really was about the name of the family, and it was embarrassing. This was a Catholic family. To have your daughter go away somewhere and then become pregnant and come back home was a shame.
By the way, we should point out that you were actually a colleague as well. You're an NBC News employee, too.
I am, yes.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to point out something that has nothing to do with anything about what we're talking about, but I want to plug our network real quick. Yeah.
It's one of those things where once you start talking to people, it seems like more people than you may think have had a similar experience or know someone.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, I think it's an epidemic.
Really?
Epidemic, that word is a little bit too close to what we're in right now in 2020. So, yeah, I don't like the way she started off.
DNA testing has become the most popular holiday gift in America.
Little Timothy goes home for the holidays to tell his Italian father that they're part African. Don't think that Christmas goes well.
So these stories are pouring out. Thousands of people are making these discoveries every week. But going back to what Steve was saying, I think that it's believed, and especially back in those days, it was believed that the child would never know, that what we don't know isn't going to hurt us. Let sleeping dogs lie. And what's not understood are the deeper psychological and emotional implications of having something as fundamental as your identity hidden from you.
For someone who's holding a secret, especially if it's not their secret, but they're holding it for someone else. I mean, do you recommend them just kind of having a sit down and talking it out? I mean, what do you recommend just from seeing this so often?
It's simple. If it's not your secret to tell, don't say anything. let it come out when it needs to come out.
Steve, how's your relationship with your mom today? I know your grandparents have since passed.
They have passed. I would say it's not the best, but it's not horrible either. In fact, we exchanged voicemail messages around this today. But we haven't talked in a while directly, but...
Damn, that's fucked up. Steve's mom probably got an Android just so she doesn't have to FaceTime him.
She does send birthday cards to my children, and you know, we are building something over time, but it takes a long time to get to another place. And I'm so happy to be able to help other people who have stories like this.
Right.
Your life doesn't have to be destroyed over something like this.
We're going to leave it at that. That's a good message. Thank you.
And we're gonna leave it at that. Just because you're fucked up doesn't mean you have to be fucked up for the rest of your life. Lesson I learned: skip church.
I'm running a rush now. You in a spot in a rush now. Run, city in a rush now. Run, city in a rush now. We up now. Smoke well.